Welcome to your first bass guitar tutorial. So let's start off with the bass itself. Let's know about some of the controls. So on your guitar, it's set up pretty much the same way, just with two knobs. So the knob closest to your body is your volume knob. And so you're gonna want that to always be at its most clockwise position. That's gonna be full on, so full send it. The second knob that is farther away from your body is the tone knob, and you can kind of play with that and see where you like it. I typically like mine most of the way up, so almost fully clockwise, but again, that's something that you can twiddle with to taste. So it either provides a little more treble or a little more bass, but of course, all of that is relative to the sound system you're playing through or the amp that you're playing through. So those are what the two knobs are for. You have a similar pickup setup, so nothing to change there. And then of course there is the output jack. So that's where the 1/4" cable needs to go. And so then you are all plugged in and ready to roll. Next up would be tuning the guitar. So your guitar pack, I don't think came with a tuner, so I can certainly send this one with you, or if you want to use an app, I like Guitar Tuna is the app that I use on my phone to tune with when I need. So typically I try to hold or mute the other 3 strings while I'm tuning, and let's see if I can point that your way. So the string farthest away from your face, so it's actually the highest string, it's just visually when you're looking down at it, it's the lowest away from your face. As the highest string is the G string, and so you want it to be in that blue range straight up. So if it's got a little bit of green, that means it's too sharp, and so you would turn your tuning peg down. And in this case, down, or to lower the note, is to turn clockwise. So that's a little odd. So that is going to be your G string, and I can tell my tuner's having a little trouble picking up the bass note. The second string, or the second highest string, is the D string, and it looks like I'm a little sharp on that one too. So again, you want it to just hit that blue space in the middle. Okay, close enough. If it's a center too sharp or a center too flat, I'm not too worried about that. Third string, so again, this is coming up, right? So your second lowest is your A string. So again, keep the other 3 strings muted while striking. And then the 4th string, so the lowest string note-wise, but closest to your face, is your low E string. And I'm pretty sure I really made this super flat. Yeah, so it's coming in at D sharp and it should be in E. So to tune it up, this is a twist that goes counterclockwise, and you can kind of feel it tightening depending on the direction you're turning. So I think it's trying to pick it up through the mic. I'm gonna flip it to vibration and see if that helps. It did, okay. So again, anywhere in that blue range is gonna be good. Even if it's a little bit green, I'm not too worried about that. All right, so this is a rechargeable tuner, and yes, I do think that keeping it on the vibration side is gonna be the best way to tune with that. Okay. So that takes care of tuning on the bass and the controls of the bass. The next thing to take a look at would be your amplifier. So every amp is a little bit different. This one has some similar controls to yours, and I would start with the bass, the mids, and the treble EQ, all 3 of them, basically just up at noon. You're not gonna go wrong with everything being up at noon. If you're playing and you find that like there's just not enough thump, or you want more low end, yeah, turn your bass knob up to 1 or 2 o'clock and see if that improves the tone, or sounds the way that you like expect to hear it in your head. If that doesn't fix it, I'd say turn it back to noon, because if it didn't make it better, then let's put it back to noon. If you feel like there's just something missing and you can't quite tell what, but like you just want it to sound fuller, that's probably mids. So I would say, yep, everything at noon, turn your mids up to 2. Does that make it sound better? If it does, great. If not, put it back to noon. And then sometimes I find that with my guitar in particular, it's just really woofy. So it already has like its own low end coming out of it. And so I might actually turn the bass down a little bit, or I might turn the treble up and see if that like helps it feel a little punchier, or just a little bit more staccato or sharper. I sometimes like that sound a little bit better. So experiment with that. But again, if you just set everything at noon, you're not gonna go wrong with that. Your input, that is where the other end of your 1/4" cable should go into, whichever side of the amp your input is on. You would also have an aux input, and so that's where you can use an 1/8" cable on each end. And so if you're wanting to connect a music player, whether it's your phone or your iPad or something else, you can connect to the aux in and the other end to your device, and you can actually hear the music through your bass amp as well. Now, of course, it's going to be running through the same EQ, so the music might sound a little funny, but that's what it is. And then there would be a headphones jack as well. So let's say you're wanting to practice silently, and maybe your spouse doesn't want to hear it. So the headphones port, you'll need an adapter, so I have that for you as well. And that way a regular 1/8" headphone port can go right in there. The adapter goes into the headphones input. All right, so that is everything on your bass amp, everything that you would need on the guitar. So that was lesson 1.